Hello, and welcome back to our podcast channel. It's been 2 weeks now. Sorry for taking so long to upload a new story. Before we start, I wish you all Ramadan Mubarak, and may you all be healthy and wealthy. Without further ado, let's get into the story. Today, we are going to talk about one of the most popular stories in Tunisia. I don't think there is a house that hasn't told this story. Today, we are going to tell you the story of Azouzet, translated as the 666 elderly woman. But why 666? As we all might know, 666 is a number related to devil, and it is told that this old lady was pure evil. Even Satan himself bows to her malicious doings, and that's why her name was linked to the devil's sign 666. I read you this quote. Azouzet, may she rot in hell. She enters the gates of the Medina and says, "How narrow you are to me, O Allah's possessions." Then she enters the Sunni needle pinhead and says, "How vast you are to me, O Allah's possessions." Blind but a sewer, deaf but knows everything. She is small and looks weak, like a grasshopper that crawls on the wall, yet she's so strong and mighty that fish jump from the seas into her grasp. End quote. So what is the story of Azouzet? Once upon a time, long ago, there was an old lady that lived in a small village. She took a habit of sitting in the corridors of the village, beside a barber shop, when men gather and chat. However, she noticed that, between their words, men took a habit of cursing Satan. "I seek refuge with Allah from a cursed Satan. Allah's curse be upon Satan," and so on. The old lady was puzzled and wondered, what does Satan has to do with anything? She kept coming back to the same spot every day, and same stories repeated again and again. All men kept cursing Satan without any reasonable reason to her, until one day, while she was eavesdropping, a handsome man with a white beard, wearing a red cloak with green chaplet in his hands, walked by past her. He stopped and asked her, "What are you doing? Why are you so lost, old woman?" The old woman replied, "I am confused. I can't understand these men at all. Every day, between every phrase they utter, they curse Satan. But I don't know, what did Satan do so wrong to them?" The man was shocked and told the woman, "Oh, that's me. I am Satan. They are cursing me, and I'm as puzzled as you are." The old lady couldn't believe her eyes and asked him, "But why are they cursing you? What have you done to them?" Satan replied, "You bear witness. Here I am. I haven't even gotten near them." Azouzet said, "And why haven't you taken any action until now?" Satan replied, "How possibly could I, with all their cursing? All I can is make them fight." The old lady agreed and told him to show her what he's capable of doing. Satan got into the barber shop and came out after a few minutes, and suddenly all men started arguing and their voices got louder and louder. Satan felt proud and started showing off in front of the old lady, but she wasn't impressed at all. She turned to him and asked, "Are you sure you are Satan? Is that everything you can do?" Satan got so angry and shouted, "What are you saying, old woman? I am the one and only Satan. I am what humans fear. Azouzet argued. But you seem so weak to me. I bet I can defeat you in whatever you are trying to do. Satan was mouth dropped and replied, What can you possibly do, old woman? Watch me, the old lady responded, and asked him to hand her his jibbah and shoes. Satan couldn't understand what she was trying to show him, so he asked her, What are you scheming? I will show you that I am stronger than you are. Follow me. She started walking from corridor to another, looking at the houses as if she is searching for something in particular, until her eyes fell on the right one. She hurried towards it and knocked on the door. After a few seconds, a beautiful young lady in her 20s answered the door. She was extremely beautiful and kind. She asked the old lady if she needs anything. Azouzet replied, I am going to Sidi Mahr's shrine. I'm traveling from far away, and my dress got dirty by the mold. If you could please invite me to clean my dress and have some water. The lady agreed and invited her to stay in the shed. But the old woman told the lady to not leave her in the shed, for that she got scared and felt no safety. The beautiful lady took her inside the house and fetched her some water. Meanwhile, Satan disguised himself as a small insect and got into the house to watch from afar what the old woman is going to do. After a few minutes, the lady guided Azouzet to her bathroom to wash her robe, and so she did, then handed it to dry. But she also put the jibbah and shoes that she took from Satan along on the clothesline. Faking innocence, the old woman told the young lady that she will leave after her dress dries. However, the lady insisted that she stays for lunch, and of course Azouzet agreed. The table was set, and both women sat to eat. Azouzet looked around and said, My dear, could you please fetch me another spoon? The young lady replied, I got you one already. What are you going to do with the other one? Azouzet replied, Oh, my sweet child, I took a habit of eating with spoon for me and another for the angels. The young lady was impressed by the kindness and wiseness of her guest and fetched her another spoon. Azouzet started eating, once with her spoon, another with the other spoon, until all the food was done. While they were seated, the door opened and the lady's husband entered. He was a handsome man and he worked as a merchant. Azouzet turned to the old lady and asked her, Who is this man? The young woman replied, He is my husband. Your husband? Azouzet asked promptly. But who was the man eating with us from a while ago? His spoon is still on the table. Even his laundry is still on the clothesline. The husband couldn't believe his ears. He hurried up the roof to see if the old woman's claims are true. And once he got there, he fell on his knees. He couldn't believe his eyes. He got betrayed by his wife without being aware. Satan that turned into an insect was laughing so hard to the scene. Azouzet was really very powerful. After that, the husband took his wife and started beating her and swore to divorce her. Meanwhile, Azouzet leaked out from the house and escaped after bringing a hurricane to their home. After that, Satan got back to his form and he handed to the old woman. He bowed to her and he admitted his defeat. She was far malicious and ill-natured than he could ever be. Now, my dears, this is the story of Azouzet, the 666 elderly woman. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next Sunday with a new story. Bye-bye.